Hi, I'm Antonella from Intuitive Wing Chun Kung Fu and Empowerment Self-Defense. I'm from Brisbane, all the way in Australia, and I'm happy to be here again with you with the lovely Tasha.
Aloha, everyone. This is Tasha with Ellie Live Action. That's Women Living in Action. It's a self-defense business, and I am on the beautiful island of Maui in the Hawaiian Islands in the United States. So we together are I.M.Fem.Power. We're very excited to have you joining us today and watching us on either IGTV or YouTube or wherever you're watching us out there. We're very excited to have you. Today we have a really awesome topic. I think it's a very important topic. It's safety tips. So there's a lot when it comes to safety tips, and definitely if you are out there and you have some really awesome safety tips, we would love it if you would share those in the comments section down below, because then people can also see those and add those on to the different safety tips that we're going to talk about today. So first, we want to talk about the psychologicals. So there's so much when it comes to safety and being aware and attentive, but then also the emotional aspect that you go through. And so Antonella is going to talk to you about that first, and then we will go on to some other safety tips. Take it away, Antonella.
Thanks, Tasha. Yeah, so I'm a huge advocate in terms of the empowering the individual, male, female, anyone that feels that they would like to have skills in terms to keeping themselves safe. So I'll talk more about the emotional, psychological aspects, and then Tasha will talk more about the practical side. And if you are on Maui, go and check out Tasha's workshops as well. So my background is psychology. I am also a Wing Chun Kung Fu instructor since 1996, so that's about 23 years. And I also have attended the Empowerment Self-Defense Global boot camps in New York, and will be going again, most likely again this year. So what I learned, yeah, I know, I'm really excited. I actually might even get to see you, Tasha. So that's
maybe
in person,
crossing our
maybe.
fingers.
Crossing fingers. So, so I have learned a lot in regards to the difference, and you'll hear me keep going on about the difference between martial arts and self-defense. And today, purely we want to share to you more about the self-defense tips that actually a lot of martial artists would not even consider because it's just in their ingrained training. So one of the things is that, so if, you need to invest in yourself, first of all. You need to believe that you matter, that you're worth protecting and defending. So that could be a simple decision as actually going and taking a self-defense class. So go and do your homework, go out and seek a good self-defense class, because that means that you're telling yourself that you are worth it. You're protecting yourself. And of course, as you develop some new skills, you get confident, and you get confident in using these skills. Because the situation is, a lot of us have this thing called monkey brain, where we think of the worst case scenario. We don't actually stop to question our thoughts. We actually don't look at things from a pragmatic, logical point of view. We use our emotional, the amygdala, the flight and freeze and fight part of the brain. So this is why the self-defense training is really good, to just keep changing the patterns in your brain so you become more proactive and actually are able to change your behaviors. So that monkey brain that we use, as I said, is more for we think of the worst case scenario. We realize that right now you don't have the skills to defend yourself against the worst case scenario, and then you just give up, and then you just become, I guess, maybe a victim to that situation. So you give up before, anything even starts. So by going to a self-defense class is the first step. One of the things in regards to negotiation, so my day job, I guess you would call it, is I'm a dispute resolution, conflict resolution mediator. So
very fancy.
Yeah, very fancy, very glamorous. I work on the 25th floor. That's how in the city that. But actually, it's interesting to see that the same situations, it's human nature that you're always wanting to get a win-lose outcome, and we really want to work work towards a win-win situation through negotiation. So if you are being confronted by somebody, you know, if you are in that verbal interaction, give him or her lots of reasons why they shouldn't attack you. And psychologically, you know, they are able to, you're buying time, you're also being very calm, you're thinking logically as much as you can in that situation, and you're, I guess, de-escalating the situation too. Listen, if you do need to use force, do it. Like, just go through with it. Give 100%. And by using force, I'm a big believer that you can have all the skills in the world, but again, it comes back, if you don't believe in your self-worth and that you're worth defending, you're not going to use these amazing skills that you've learned. So again, it's continuous personal development. It's you know, doing things that fills your tank, your love tank, I call it, and reaffirms that, you know, you'll do anything to protect yourself or your loved ones. If you do find yourself in a confrontation and you're out in public, put yourself in the light. Put yourself in a situation where there's video surveillance. And also, something that I've learned recently is to seek the support and assistance from the people around you. So if you are maybe in an intimate relationship and you're having an argument and things are getting ugly, and you know, you can ask somebody close to you, for example, excuse me, lady with the purple shirt, can you just take some photos? Or you can, and again, this is all situation based, so you've got to sort of decide what's best for you. Or if you are in a confrontation, start actually naming what they look like. Blonde hair, brown eyes, green shirt, blue shoes. And that sort of freaks them out and goes, holy Julie, you know, now she's remembering what I look like. So that sort of freaks them out as well. There is a statistic that they say that 90% of attacks can be de-escalated if you're not afraid of violence. Okay, so this is why martial artists and people that, you know, train in self-defense, so like Tasha and I, we are not afraid to use violence if we need it. Okay, so go to those self-defense workshops. Keep coming back as a refresher. Keep, you know, if it's 8 weeks, make sure you fulfill those 8 weeks to get confident and to learn how to use those skills. That's really, really important. One simple thing, actually, that Jordan Peterson, one of my heroes, that he says is like, and I'll sort of change it a little bit, is if you can't deal with your own boundaries in your own life, your own issues in your own life, it's going to be really hard to actually deal with bigger issues out there. So if you're able to deal with conflict with your children, your partner, your family, your neighbors, co-workers, then you are able to have more skills to deal with much more dangerous situations. Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? Couple of more before I hand over to Tasha. What else? Name the behavior. Okay. I don't want you. What's the word? I don't want you following me. Go away. I'm going into the shop now. Stop shouting at me. So you're naming the behavior. Okay. And so saying you're an idiot. You're a freak. You're a weirdo. Okay, that can just escalate and things can turn ugly. So always name the behavior. Use command language. So here in Australia especially, we tend to go up at the end of a sentence. That usually means that we are either questioning ourselves, or we're not serious, or we're open-ended. So for example, let's use one that mums say a lot to their kids. Can you go to your room? Can you go to your room? Okay, instead of, can you go to your room? Can you go to your room? Can you hear the difference? So at the end of the sentence, instead of going up in tonality, actually go down, okay? That demands tonality and command.